Joining me is Sky News contributor Kosha Gada. Kosha, thank you so much for joining me. I'll get back to Donald Trump's net zero comments shortly that I played earlier on the show. But I want to start with his criticism of the EU's migration policy. This is what he said.
Immigration, Europe has a tremendous problem, and we do too, but we've sealed our borders. We have nobody coming in. I think they're going to end up in the same place. You might as well go there quicker.
Kosha, the extraordinary thing about all of Donald Trump's comments was that he actually made them in front of the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. She must have been thinking, goodness, just get me out of the room. But he's not wrong, is he?
He is not. He's got the wind in his sails. He's got the truth on his side for these issues, because we all know the debacle, really, that immigration policy has been for many countries in the Western sphere over the last half century, and the other issues that he touched on. I found the optics really interesting, too, Danica, that it's his property while he is in another country. It's, he's got these beautiful golf courses and the opulence and the wealth and the success and all of that sort of undergirds his presence on top of having the correct position on these policies. And there isn't so much that the other world leaders can say. They sort of have to go through the lion's den, and it's kind of a rite of passage, I would say, right now to cut these trade deals with the US in the Trump administration.
Well, I thought it was extraordinary because Australia, obviously, we're arguing over net zero here, yet you've got President Trump giving the European Commission President a lesson in renewables. This is what he said.
It's the most expensive form of energy. It's no good. They're made in China, almost all of them. The whole thing is a con job.
Kosha, I just thought that was absolutely brilliant. I mean, we know that Europe in particular are ploughing through on this renewables-only experiment, just like we are in Australia. But he's really showing the world how to be upfront when it comes to net zero.
Yes, he's been showing the world that, I think, for the past decade on so many issues, including this one, where, again, public opinion is on his side, common sense is on his side. It doesn't work. We can do it around the margins, but you can't sustain huge populations with the level of renewables that they seem to purport and push, and here as well, and elsewhere. Not to mention the fact that the supply chains are not really that green. If you look at the fact that they're made in China, or they dig up rare earths, or like how are these things disposed of after their useful life is over, and all the rest of it. So he's laying that down bare, and everyone knows it and finds it, I think, refreshing that there's somebody out there, and actually the most powerful person in the world, speaking common sense.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Let's talk trade. The US has reached a framework deal with the EU, with Donald Trump announcing a 15% flat import tariff on most EU goods going into the US. Here he was talking about the agreement.
I just want to congratulate you. I think it's great that we made a deal today instead of playing games and maybe not making a deal at all. I think it's I'm going to let you say, but I think it's the biggest deal ever made. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Gee, Kosha, what a whirlwind for Ursula. She's probably thinking 1 minute he's saying this, 1 minute he's saying that. But look, I mean, what do you make of this deal? And does it also just go to show how Donald Trump operates? It's a face-to-face agreement on trade. Hello, Anthony Albanese.
Yes, I think there are lots of lessons there for Prime Minister Albanese, among others. Look, this is a renegotiation of the largest bilateral trade relationship on planet Earth, so it is a big deal. And I can tell you from the American perspective, people are very happy with the framework because it feels like something even better than reciprocity. It's almost like payback for what many back home feel has been the U.S. getting ripped off, so to speak, running $200 billion plus trade deficits for Europe, suffering from all these protectionist measures that prevents U.S. cars from being exported into Europe and not the other way around. Same thing with agriculture, so on and so forth. So this deal seems to have righted that ship from an American perspective. From the European perspective, a lot of people are not happy. I think Ursula went back home and copped a lot of flack from everybody from Marine Le Pen to other leaders who believe that she gave too much, didn't get enough by way of concessions. And what it's doing is it's really cementing the position of Europe being even more reliant on the U.S. in this century, which is not probably where they want to be, but that's kind of what it looks like in terms of just the lopsided nature of everything from tariffs to the investments they're going to have to make in the U.S. to opening up their markets to a greater extent than the U.S. will. So we see it as a rebalancing, but a lot of Europeans are not happy with it tonight.
No, it'd be interesting to see how it goes. Kosha Gada, we've got to leave it there. Thanks very much for joining me on the show.